Hey guys, what's up? So usually, as you know, I'm talking about TV shows on my channel, but today I thought I would switch it up a little bit and tell you some things about me that you probably didn't know. So my friends over at A&W Restaurant have asked me 5 questions, and I'm going to share those 5 answers with you. So let me start off by saying, have you ever been to an A&W restaurant? I have been going to them for quite a while, but I believe like when I was younger, I live in Kentucky and I don't remember there being very many, or at least if they were around, I didn't know about it. So it's kind of like a thing that I've discovered maybe in like the last five years probably. I'm lucky to live in a town where there are lots of them, and I actually live really close to one of the locations, so I frequent it all the time, and I really love the food. So comment down below and let me know if you've ever been before. And I know my Canadian friends, you guys have told me that you've been before, because I know it's a huge deal in Canada. When I was in Toronto several months ago, I actually saw it in the airport, but I didn't have time to get it, but believe me, I wanted to. So the first question is, what is my favorite A&W menu item? All right, so this one is interesting because it's actually a new item to the menu, at least here in the US, and it is the very delicious poutine, okay? So leave me a comment down below if you've ever tried poutine before. I don't need a spoon for this though. I need a fork because it can get kind of messy. So if you've never experienced poutine before, you are really missing out. If you're a fan of gravy and cheese and fries, then this is gonna be like your new best friend. So if you're familiar though with traditional poutine, poutine is basically cheese curds, fries, and brown gravy, but there's all kinds of variations of it, but that's like the typical type. And A&W did a little bit of a twist on it because their cheese curds are fried, breaded and fried, so even more delicious. I love gravy, I love cheese curds, I love fries, so this is like heaven to me. It is so delicious. Let's just take a bite now. Let's see, we'll have a delicious cheese curd. Oh my God, the gravy. Gravy makes everything better, right? So good. Yum, yum, yum. Question number 2 is, what is one thing on my bucket list? And that is hard because there are many things on my bucket list, but right now, probably one of the biggest things, and I was just thinking to myself the other day, like, I want to make this happen next year. I'm actually going to be traveling during this event this year, so I can't go, but that is Coachella. I have wanted to go to Coachella for years. I love Southern California and it just looks so cool. I'm a huge music fan and I really want to go, and like I want to make that happen next year. Have any of you guys been to Coachella? I'm just dying to go. It's just number 1 on my bucket list right now. Question 3 is, if I could have lunch with anyone in the world, who would that be and why? So if you've watched my videos before, you know I'm a huge fan of Jerry O'Connell, and that's really because, not because I'm really a huge fan of like the work he has done as an actor, although I've seen some of it and it was good. It's because he's seriously the nicest celebrity I've ever met. I met him at the Kentucky Derby several years ago and he treated me like we were friends, and he was so nice and so amazing. And I'm a huge Wendy Williams fan, and he recently hosted an entire week while she was out, and he did such a great job, and I'm hearing rumors that he's gonna have his own talk show, so that's really exciting because he's amazing. But I would like to have lunch with him because he's so positive and so happy, and I love being around people who exude positive vibes, and I just think we would have the very best time at lunch together. So Jerry, hit me up. When can we meet? I mean, hey, the Kentucky Derby, I know you come every year. I can totally drive to Louisville and we can make lunch happen. Number 4 is probably my favorite question, and that is, what is one thing that people will be surprised to know about you? So when I was in middle school, I had 1,000 pen pals from all around the world, and I know that sounds crazy, and believe me, it was completely crazy. So I decided that I wanted to have some pen pals, like maybe 5 or 10, when I was probably about 10 years old. And I really didn't know like how to go about it, but I was looking at a teen magazine one day and I saw this thing where you could write in and they would like publish your information, like publish your address if you wanted other people to write you. And I was like, sure, I'll try it, but they're never going to pick me. Like they only picked a few people. Well, all of a sudden, maybe it took like a few months, I started getting like amazing amounts of mail, and it was from everywhere, not just the US, but like as far as Africa and like the Middle East and everywhere. It was crazy. And people were like, I saw your name and your address in this magazine, and you know, I saw you wanted pen pals. So I at first tried to keep up with every single person, and I did that for like maybe a year, but it was crazy. I would get so much mail at my parents' house that they couldn't even fit it in the mailbox, so they would have to put it like in another box and set it on the porch because I was getting mass amounts of mail. I mean, for a minute I was like, this must be what it's like to be a celeb and get like fan mail, because it's overwhelming. So if you've ever like written or emailed a celebrity and they didn't respond, it's probably because they get so much mail that it's like literally impossible. So I did this for a couple of years, and it just got really hard as I became more involved in different activities in school. It just got so hard to reply to everyone, but I was fortunate enough to travel and meet some of my pen pals, and these were all people at the time who lived in the US. But what's really cool is I feel like that hobby has kind of evolved as I've gotten older, because now I'm on a YouTube channel where I have friends from all over the world, and that's kind of like what I was doing in middle school. Plus, I've been really fortunate to travel to a lot of places around the world where I used to have those pen pals, and also to travel to places where you guys live. I've always loved interacting with people all around the world. That's one of my biggest passions, and I just think, you know, it started for me really young, and I think that's something that I will continue the rest of my life. Okay, please tell me you've had a root beer float before. They are just like heaven in a cup. And I have one of the famous A&W root beer floats here. Their root beer is so delicious. But question 5 is spoon or straw. As you see, I've got my spoon here. Brain freeze is real, right? So every time I try to drink any kind of cold concoction with a straw, I have brain freeze, like really bad. So I enjoy the delicious root beer float with the spoon. I just feel like I can get all of the deliciousness easier with the spoon than a straw. And again, brain freeze. It's real, kids, and you know, a spoon will really help you out because you're not digesting it that quickly. So I would love to hear you guys answer all of the questions below, or whatever questions you can answer, because maybe you don't have an A&W where you live, but if you're ever traveling and you see one, you need to go, because not lying here, it's really, 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 really good. But I just want to thank A&W for asking me these questions and for inspiring me to make this video so that you guys can learn a little bit more about me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Kelly TV. I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of the Kelly TV family. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter so you can keep up with all I'm doing.